but no one inside the government will acknowledge it even exists. Insiders will tell you off the record that Echelon is a synonym for an intelligence-sharing partnership, including Great Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the U.S., which is led by the U.S.'s National Security Agency, or the NSA. Together, they eavesdrop on every corner of the world, on phone calls, faxes, and emails, even on ATM transfers. In 2003, on the eve of the war in Iraq, Secretary of State Colin Powell opened a small window into the world of Echelon when he went before the UN to reveal some of its secrets. Intercepted conversations like this one between two top Iraqi officers.
Remove the expression, I got it. Nerve agents, wherever it comes up, got it, wherever it comes up. Because the senior officer is concerned that somebody might be listening. Well, somebody was.
Powell was attempting to demonstrate that the Iraqi government was hiding chemical weapons. But at the same time, it was an unprecedented public admission that the United States was listening in on the Iraqi military. It's likely that the intercepts Powell quoted originally came to the U.S. through Echelon. In this case, from a British listening post, particularly well situated to pick up intercepts from the Middle East.
Echelon grew out of World War II. During World War II, the United States and Britain and Australia and the other allies all cooperated together to eavesdrop on Japan, Germany, the other enemies at the time, and to exchange information on code breaking. That was very successful.
The United States broke the extremely difficult Japanese code called Purple, and the British, with U.S. help, broke the German code, Enigma.
So after World War II, there was a desire to keep that expertise and that capability.
The relationship was formalized in the United States-United Kingdom Agreement, or UK-USA, signed in 1948.
The 5 countries that were parties to the agreement, the United States, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, agreed to share all intelligence collected by their respective signals intelligence communities against the primary enemy at the time, which was the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union remained the principal target for the better part of 40 years until it collapsed.
The 5 countries have gotten together at least once a year to decide on the targets they want to focus on.
And they basically divide up the world in terms of who can listen to what areas best. Britain, for example, can listen to Europe best because of its location. Australia can listen to Southeast Asia and the Pacific best. Canada can listen to information coming over the poles, for example.
For years, they focused on high-frequency communications intercepts like television and radio signals sent out and picked up by large antennas.
The NSA was very good at intercepting that communications. That's how the Russians communicated primarily.
The NSA also took in microwave communications, essentially signals relaying thousands of telephone calls from tower to tower and into deep space where a satellite could take them in.
They put these big satellites out there, 22,330 miles out in space, and they were eavesdropping on these signals coming from Moscow or Vladivostok as if they were tapping the phone.
When satellites began being used for voice communications in the 1970s, the NSA's job became a lot easier.
Once you started having a lot of satellite communications, then collecting signals from a satellite is like putting a big dish out and collecting rain.
Because the signals coming down from a satellite cover such a large area, all the NSA had to do was build its own ground station next door to the commercial ground station.
That's what they did. They eavesdropped, basically piggybacked on the commercial communication station.
Eventually, the NSA and its partners in signals intelligence, or SIGINT as they call it, had piggyback ground stations all across the globe to listen in on commercial traffic, including Menwith Hill Station in northern England. which is believed to be the largest spy station in the world.
The system revolutionized, in many respects, the way we were able to monitor the Soviet Union and its allies. We could listen to factory managers in the Urals talking to their bosses in Moscow about how many tanks their plant was producing.
With all the new listening posts, the volume of information simply exploded.
Pretty much all modern SIGINT operates in a sort of vacuum cleaner approach, in that you're intercepting a huge volume of communications, and then the task is trying to sort through that to find what's interesting, what's relevant, and what is junk.
So computer software, codenamed Echelon, was developed in the 70s to be able to efficiently exchange this type of signals intelligence among the Allies.
It is sorted by supercomputers, either by keyword recognition, voice recognition, phrase recognition, dial number recognition, a number of ways that it's sorted out by the computers.
Each country would provide keywords that would tell the system what type of communications it's interested in.
Over the years, the UK-USA alliance developed into a virtual state known colloquially as Echelon. The NSA's headquarters, so-called Crypto City in Fort Meade, Maryland, became its capital. This is where all the world's signals intelligence is gathered, decoded, and analyzed. Here in a building surrounded by guard dogs and barbed wire. No one enters without going through a gauntlet of security.
Attention, attention.
It's a fingerprint identification system.
Identity confirmed. Access granted.
Employees don't take home keys to the office. They get a new one every day. And they can't simply log on to their computers in the morning.
You'll see the red circle came around my face that indicated it found a face. Now there's a green one there. That indicates that it recognized my face. Now the computer's mine to do with what I wish.
This is the epicenter of the agency, a room so secret it was only open to journalists once, and that was before 9/11. Even then, no microphones were allowed, and lights flashed to warn everyone that outsiders had breached the inner sanctum. Intercepts of all kinds of communications are filtered into this operations center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in real time. For example, this actual conversation took place in 2001 between air defense gunners getting ready to take a shot at an American plane patrolling the no-fly zone over Iraq. Zeroing in on such communications is a mammoth undertaking. Just how mammoth, the NSA director knows, but he's not telling.
The actual size, in terms of people and budget, are classified numbers still. I can give you a sense of scale, though. It's tens of thousands of people and billions of dollars in terms of budget.
And that's just the NSA. No one knows how many thousands of people work for all the Echelon partners. It's classified. But even with all those people, it's still a daunting job.
The problem is that there is so much information out there. One listening post, for example, listening post in England, for example, pulls in about 2 million pieces of communications an hour.
For the NSA and its Echelon partners, their primary objective recently has been sorting through all that communication to focus on the war on terror.
Many experts believe that signals intelligence has, insofar as the war against terrorism is concerned, has become the principal means by which the U.S. government is out there every single day trying to track these people down and catch them and bring them to justice.
So far, though, Echelon has had mixed success fighting the war on terror.
There was never any indication of the First World Trade Center bombing. There was never any indication of the attack on the USS Cole, never any indication of the attack on the Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia. Never any indication of the attack on the U.S. embassies in East Africa. And finally, never any indication of the attack on September 11th.
So, how can Echelon meet the new challenges of the war on terror? For more than 50 years, the NSA and its Echelon partners have been considered the best in the super-secret world of signals intelligence.
During the Cold War,